Hey guys, John Downing here with Downing Powerlifting Systems. This is going to be the second part to my series, You Think You Can Squat, and this part of the series is going to focus on two things: why you should squat, as well as how you should go about doing the actual squat. So two things this is going to focus on: the why and the how. Hope you enjoy and listen up as I go throughout these great points. So, as most of you know by this point, I am a teacher, and within my classroom, I constantly, as I'm teaching, students are always raising their hands. Mr. Downing, why do we have to learn about this particular thing? And as being a very good teacher, I always respond with a great, well-informed answer of, because I said so. Not really, but I do always come back with a very good answer. And that answer is I tell them how the information applies to their lives today. So how it continues to impact what they are doing today. And that makes learning a lot more alive for my students, and it also makes them a lot more engaged into what I'm about to teach them. I think the squat has a lot of similarities to that statement. Often we ask ourselves, why do we need to squat? Why do we need to do it a particular way? Why does it have to be this or that? And I'm going to explain today a lot of the benefits of why you should squat. A lot of people don't go into squatting because they are afraid of all of the possible pains or aches that the squat could cause you. But in reality, what we have learned that proper squatting, so squatting done right, actually helps out a lot of those pains or aches. It gets rid of strains in your hips as well as your groins. We can look at how it gets rid of pain in your knee and your lower back when you've done it properly. So in reality, the squat, when done properly, again, starts to fix a lot of the problems people are having within society. Constantly we see athletes that are getting knee injuries, and a lot of the times it's because they haven't properly developed their quads and hamstrings. So if you're squatting properly, you start to strengthen the quad, you strengthen the hamstring, and thus you do away with a lot of the variables that help cause these knee injuries, and you're having a lot healthier of athletes, and you're getting away from these knee injuries for them. In my mind, there's really only one common mistake that we see, and that's not squatting. A lot of people squat wrong. They squat half squats. We see people leaning over. We see some crazy things in the weight room, let me tell you. But it all comes down to the fact that they're not squatting properly. And this, to me, is the common mistake. If you're not squatting properly, you're really not squatting. So take that person, make them squat properly, and you get rid of the common mistake of not squatting. The squat, again, it benefits who you are. It benefits you if you're an athlete. It benefits you if you're just the average Joe who's hitting the weight room. It's something that needs to be in what you're doing. I have a great friend, Jonnie Candito. Most of you know him. He's a lot more popular than I am on YouTube. But he's a very intelligent guy. And about 2 years ago, he made a video on how you should squat. It was a great video. It broke everything down properly for you. It showed you how he squatted. And really what I'm trying to do here today is build upon what Candito set up. Not trying to necessarily say he did anything wrong. But in terms of the athletes and the students I teach, I know I need to cover a few more things. And I know I need to cover them a little bit differently, as well as cover a little more variation in this video. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to break it down into 4 areas. Phase 1, just like Candito said, the tight upper back. This is very essential to a proper squat. Phase 2 is initiating the squat. I'm going to break this down into 3 areas. Initiating it at the knees, initiating it at the hips, or the hybrid where you see a simultaneous movement happening. Phase 3, opening up the hips, allowing your body to recess down. Phase 4, and this is where I'm going to really differentiate, is depth. Now, there's going to be a lot of speculation and talk about depth, but I'm going to cover depth to the particular athlete. And I'm not going to get in too much detail because I'm going to do another video after this one covering what is depth. Phase 1 to a proper squat. That is the tight upper back. What does that mean? Well, really it means how you bring yourself onto the bar. When you're creating a tight upper back, it's kind of like you're pulling the bar to you. You want the back of your body to be very tight. So in this video, as you're watching this, I'm obviously talking over top of it, but you're going to have a tight upper back. You see how I swing under the bar and I pull the bar down to my back. It creates, as you pull the bar to you, using the weight on the bar, a tight back. And it makes the bar sit properly on your back. This first video shows you pulling the bar to my back on a low bar position. The second, you see me bringing the bar to me in a high bar position. Again, this differentiates between the low bar and high bar. So you can see the tight upper back with the low bar squat, as well as the tight upper back with the high bar squat. Phase 2 is initiating the squat. In this first video, I'm going to show you initiating the squat at the knees. So you start the squat by bending first at the knees. Now notice I'm still not having my knees float too far out over my toes. I'm recessing down into the squat position, again by first initiating the squat at the knees. This style of squatting is most seen through sports that train Olympic style weightlifting, or even Olympic lifters themselves. The second one you're seeing here is initiation at the hips. Here the squat starts by pushing yourself back and starting the downward motion first with the hips. This method is most commonly used by people who powerlift. You see it in other areas as well, but really it's known to be a powerlifting way to squat, starting at the hips. This last way to squat, and this is how I squat personally myself, is what I would call a hybrid squat. I believe I'm not starting at the hips or the knees, I'm really simultaneously starting both of them. To me, it creates a very fluid squat and a very fluid downward motion. Tons of people find their own variations to squatting. For me, this is my variation, where I initiate both of them at the same time. And this is really where I find my rhythm in the squat itself. And it allows me to put a lot more speed into the squat, which I carry over then into opening up my hips and also hitting my proper depth with that speed. Phase 3 of squatting is opening up at the hips. With this, I'll first show you a video of what kind of happens when you don't open up your hips. And what you're seeing here is that as you collapse down and you recess into the deeper squat position, your upper body comes in contact with your lower body and it really stops your descent. And you don't hit that proper depth. But as you see now, when you begin squatting, have a slight angle in your feet, with your feet, which allows your knees to be pointed out. And then as you squat down, you push your hips out and it creates kind of like a little pocket or hole. And this is where your body recesses down into so that your legs aren't inhibiting your descent and allows you to get to that proper depth for you. The last phase, or phase 4, and this is one that's going to take a little bit of explanation. And again, as I said, I'm eventually going to do another video just on depth. And depth itself, as you begin to watch this video, is something that is not necessarily developed over time. You can do the first 3 phases, but you might want to work depth in a gradual way. I'd recommend starting at a high box and then lowering it gradually down as you gain more hip flexibility. And I'll really help you out. But depth, for the purpose of this video, as you're going to see, is recessing down below parallel. So below breaking at your knees, below that parallel position. And the reason I'm saying below parallel for depth is that is where you're able to hit the hole, or hit the area where you're able to rebound out of the squat. If you're doing a proper squat in my mind, you're able to get the rebound effect. So, what is depth? It's, for the purpose of this video, specifically getting below parallel, able to hit the hole and rebound out of it. Now, as I said again, depth takes a lot of time in gaining flexibility, and depth is different to each individual lifter. Over time, each lifter can gradually go deeper, but in terms of where they hit that rebound effect, it's different for every individual lifter. So I can't say go this far below parallel. It's different for everyone, and I want to make that very clear. Alright, so you've seen my demonstrations, we've gone over the 4 phases. So in summary, here's what we're looking at. We're seeing back tightness. You want your back to be tight in the squat. The tightness of your back is what allows you to have stability under the bar. Phase 2, initiating the squat. We looked at 3 different ways to initiate it. At the knees, associated most likely with Olympic lifters, at the hips, associated with powerlifters, and a hybrid squat. This is of which what I do, and a lot of other people do it as well too. But again, the 3 different ways to initiate the squat. And really I'm going to say there's no one that benefits you more or less. It's how you develop your squat for you, what makes you the most comfortable. Phase 3, opening up at the hips. Again, you need a slight outward toe angle so that your knees are pointing out. And then as you recess down, you push your hips out or open them up, that you're able to recess down into the pocket that is vacated by opening up your legs. So opening up at the hips allows you to get lower in the squat. And then finally, phase 4 is depth. Depth that is described for this video is somewhere below parallel. As I said, I'm going to hit this in another video very soon, but for the purposes of this, is somewhere below parallel. That's where you're going to start to see a lot of muscle growth, so you get this stronger hamstrings and quads. And this again will allow you to be a lot healthier athlete and avoiding a lot more of those knee injuries. Depth again, something that takes time, it takes flexibility, and you'll get there eventually. Just don't give up on it. And as I'm going to cover in my depth video, there's a lot of ways to get to that depth. So I hope this has been helpful. Stay tuned, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Feel free to ask questions anytime. I am a teacher first, trainer of athletes second. So I love helping out, and that's my passion. So hit me up anytime. Thank you.